Hi YouTube, welcome back to the channel. My name is Estrella Gomes, and if you're new here, welcome. Please like, share, subscribe. Today is going to be my first story time that I've ever done for YouTube, so here we go. So today's story time is about 9/11. It is the 24th anniversary in about less than 2 hours, and I wanted to share my story from that day. So I was a student in New York City at the time. I was studying musical theater in a conservatory program. And on that morning, I had class at 9 a.m. So where we lived in the residential housing was about 10 blocks from where the class was that day. So my friend came banging on my door. Let's go. You know, I was running behind. And about 8:40 we left. 8:40 a.m. we left for class. So we started walking. We usually went down a certain route, but we went the other way, which was down Broadway. So we walked down Broadway, and I'm looking up in the sky, and I noticed a plane flying super low like this, down. And there was a building at the time, the A&E building, and it had like a point at the top of the building. So the plane is flying like this close to the top of the building. But I'm like, we're in New York, you know. I lived about 3 hours away, born and raised. But I'm like, it's New York. Like, they're probably filming a movie. I'm not thinking anything of it. So we kept walking, we get to class, and in the program that I was in, if you were late for class, they would lock the door and you would miss class for that day. And so the door was locked when we got there. We were like, oh man. My friend was like, oh no, we're getting in this class. So he starts banging on the door, and fortunately the teacher let us in. We had class. And then we went to talk to the teacher after class because we didn't want to be marked absent or late or anything. It was a very strict program that we were in. So we're talking to him, and he's like, don't worry, like, it's cool. So then the manager of our program in that building came in, had us all go back into the classroom, and was talking to us about, what had just happened. And she had said that planes had hit the Twin Towers and so on and so forth. Now, I was 18 at the time. I was super young. I didn't understand anything. I knew Twin Towers, but I didn't understand the gravity of the situation. So then we go to our next class, and the teacher explained a little more, and explained, what just happened and what's going on. And they informed us to just go back to, our housing. So I'll never forget when we leave the building and we start walking back, there's literally no one in the street. So if you know New York, like, you already know. If you see nobody in the street, like, it looked literally like War of the Worlds. Like, no, if you ever seen that movie, or you watch that movie, like, that's what it looked like. It looked like War of the Worlds. So we're walking, and I see everyone with their cell phones, like, going like this, banging on their phones and, like, looking like, what? Like, hitting the phone, like, what? So I'm like, I need to check my phone. I check my phone. You can't call out. Like, at that time, they stopped all the satellites because they didn't know what was going on, and we couldn't call out for hours. So we finally get back, we're walking to the building, and we get back there, and at that time, this is 2001, so I put the radio on, and it was just playing and playing George Bush saying the same thing. He was president at the time. He's saying the same thing, like, we're a great nation, we'll get through this, so on and so forth. That's all that was playing. Like, I never forget that night. Like, I just shut the lights, like, and just left the radio on just for sound. And he just kept playing until the next day. And thank God, like, most of the people that I knew there, were fine. And pretty much everybody I knew there was fine. It was about maybe, I think that evening, people were able to get through to my phone because I couldn't call out for at least a day and a half. So that happened on a Tuesday. I left a Friday because I would come home because I live about 3 hours away from New York City, 3.5, give or take. So I was able to come home. I used to take the bus. So I was fortunate enough. I was able to, get on the bus and come home. And then I ended up going back, the next Monday back to class. And I ended up staying and finishing that program there. But it definitely was an experience, I'll never forget. And honestly, sharing this, I've never shared this, publicly. And even it took me a good, maybe 15 years before I even remembered seeing the plane. Like, I did not remember seeing the plane. Even when 9/11 happened, like, even the years after it, like, I never looked at any coverage or anything. Actually, 10 years after, I finally decided to watch, like, the coverage, and I was like, wait a minute, that's what happened? Like, I literally, in order to cope with what happened that day, just, kind of just didn't really connect with what happened, And prayers up to everyone who was affected by 9/11, all the families that have been affected, people that were lost that day. It's the 24th anniversary of 9/11. And if you know someone or you were affected, like, my deepest condolences to you. And we just really just need to take care of each other, honestly. But that's my first story time, y'all. I love y'all. And thank y'all for listening.